Have you ever looked at a massive skyscraper or a huge bridge and just wondered, who makes that happen? Well, it turns out there are two key professions behind it all: engineering and geoscience. And yeah, they sound kind of similar, and they work together all the time, but you'll be surprised to find out they look at the world from completely opposite points of view. So let's break that down.
Okay, let's just get right to the heart of it with a really simple question. Imagine your city needs a brand new bridge. Now, somebody has to actually design the steel beams, the cables, figure out all the forces. That's one job. But then someone else has to look at the ground, the rock, the soil, and ask, hey, can the earth actually hold this thing up? That is a totally different job. And the answer to who does what? Well, that's the key to this whole explainer.
You see, this isn't just about different job titles on a business card. We're talking about two fundamentally different philosophies for how we interact with our planet. And I promise, once you get this core difference, you will never mix them up again.
And here it is. This slide is honestly the most important one you're going to see. It all boils down to one simple word for each profession. For engineering, that magic word is control. Engineers design and build things they can completely manage and manipulate. But for geoscience, the word is observation. Geoscientists study and interpret these enormous, powerful natural systems that they have absolutely no control over. Control versus observation. Remember that, because it's the foundation for everything else we're about to talk about.
So let's dive into that first idea, the world of control. What does it actually mean to be an engineer? What's their mindset?
At its very core, engineering is all about creating man-made solutions. It's not passive. It is an active, inventive, creative process. Engineers don't just sit back and study the world as it is. No, they take proven scientific principles, physics, chemistry, you name it, and they use them like a toolkit to build something totally new that solves a very specific problem.
So if you really break it down, the engineer is the architect of the solution, right? They're the builders. They apply science to get something done. And yeah, of course, their creations have to exist in the natural world. You can't ignore gravity. But here's the crucial point. They have almost total control over the thing they are actually building, from what it's made of to how it's put together.
All right, now let's flip the coin completely. Let's step into the world of observation. What happens when you can't control the system you're working with? Well, that's exactly where geoscience comes in. Just listen to the words in this definition. They're totally different, right? You see words like investigate, map, model, and predict. This has nothing to do with creating something new. It is all about trying to understand something that already exists, something that's been around for millions of years, in all of its huge, complex, and uncontrollable glory.
So a great way to think about a geoscientist is like a detective for the planet. They use the scientific method like a magnifying glass to piece together Earth's story, past, present, and future. And that last point on the side, it is the perfect contrast to engineering. They can study, they can map, they can even predict, but they can never, ever control the fundamental forces of the Earth itself.
Now, you might be thinking this whole control versus observation thing is just a cool theory, but it's not. It's actually so fundamental that it is literally written into our laws. Let's take a quick look at how these two fields became the official, respected professions they are today.
In Canada, both of these fields have incredible legacies that go back for centuries. I mean, they are foundational to how the country was built. But as their work got more and more complex and important, it became really clear that we needed formal rules, regulations, to make sure the public was being protected.
And as you can see, this professional recognition didn't just happen overnight. Engineering was the first to be formally regulated way back in the 1920s. It then took another 35 years, until 1955, for geoscience to get that same formal regulation, with Alberta actually leading the charge. But fast forward to today, and both are recognized, licensed, and regulated as critical professions right across the entire country.
So here's where it all comes together. The most important point is that these two very different fields, one of control, one of observation, they're not in competition with each other. In fact, pretty much everything in our modern world depends on them working together in perfect harmony.
And this quote just nails it. It perfectly explains why that partnership is so non-negotiable. An engineer's solution, whatever it is, doesn't exist in some magic bubble. It has to be built within those very same natural systems that geoscientists are the experts at understanding.
Which brings us right back to our bridge. The engineer designs the brilliant structure. That's the world of control. Meanwhile, The geoscientist investigates the ground underneath it, making absolutely sure that beautiful structure has a safe, stable foundation to sit on for the next 100 years. That's the world of observation, you see. One simply cannot succeed without the other.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. As we continue to build our future, what's more important? The brilliance of the things we design, or a deep, humble understanding of the planet we're building them on? The real answer, of course, is that one is totally useless without the other. They are two sides of the exact same essential coin.